Walk It Out number 4. I'm recording this and I haven't yet recorded any other sit down episode for some reason. I'm getting addicted to this format, to be honest with you guys. This is amazing. This is so easy, so natural, so real. And yeah, I think you will also grow into loving it as much as I love it. I hope. I hope. Today is going to be about the creative void, which is one of my favorite principles that I've been experimenting with. I kind of discovered it through my own creative practice, artistic practice. And it's been a blessing. And to be honest, even outside of my creative practice, even just like in life, this principle shows up again and again, and it never stops surprising me in how accurate it is. And I think it is a super potent concept in today's world, where the amount of noise that we experience on a daily basis is very overwhelming. When I say noise, I don't just talk about the noise in the streets if you're living in the city, even though that counts. I'm talking about the amount of information we are exposed to on a daily basis, mostly because of our devices and social media, media in general. The way we connect to the world is through the mind. And we have, a lot of us, especially in the Western world, have lost contact with reality in the present moment. And we've lost contact with our senses. We are disconnected from our senses. We are numb. We are desensitized. Probably because we need to cope with this overload of information. And so this kind of shutdown is happening. The thing is, we are creative beings. And what is natural to us, even though we seem to have forgotten it, is to create. And in order to create, we need space. And that's what I call the creative void. We need void. We need emptiness. We need this space where things are undefined. This space where things are still unknown, and we just accept to kind of marinate in that without trying to find an answer or a solution immediately. And it is very challenging in today's world to choose that, because it's really a choice. It's a choice that goes against the stream, against the mainstream. It is really challenging because it means facing yourself and facing parts of yourself that you don't feel comfortable with. It is challenging because it means you have to kind of renounce to a lot of distractions that seem nice. You have to say no to certain pleasures or things that appear like quick fixes or short-term gratifications. And it means accepting solitude also. It's something that I teach to my students and mentees at the moment, people that I coach. Is this the first step to embracing an artistic life, be it to be a professional artist or to just be someone who has an artistic side to their lives? The first step is to accept and embrace that solitude. And with solitude comes this acceptance of creative void. And this principle has to be embraced and cherished and experimented with. Almost like you're getting to know someone, or you're getting to be familiar with an animal, or even with an object. You have to kind of connect with it on a daily basis. So how do you do that? I think for me, the way that it appeared was through meditation. You know, you can do a lot of guided meditations, but there's a moment when, after the guided meditation is finished, after the voice has stopped guiding you, you can stay in silence. And I think it's in those moments for me that I started just being curious of, okay, if I stay in silence and I don't add anything to my meditation, I don't try to guide myself, I just keep breathing, keep being open, then what happens? And sometimes nothing happens. Just I just marinate in the nice feelings of presence and my body tingling and my breath going in and out. And sometimes ideas come. Sometimes randomly I start thinking about someone that I haven't thought about for weeks and months. Sometimes randomly I think about a thing I would like to do, that I had never had any idea about it before. So it's like some things are popping up because I have created space for them to appear, to emerge. And this void is actually not void at all. It's actually not empty. It's just some space to listen to what is already inside of you, but you don't give it a chance to emerge and to be revealed. But if you listen, if you take this time to listen, if you dive into that void, then the void becomes creative almost instantly. It's like in nature, let's say if you remove a tree, then you will have soil, and from the fact that you remove the tree, other things will grow. Some fungi, some other plants will start growing, some insects will start working on the soil. Like, things will happen naturally. And this is really going against the industrial society we've been living in for over 2 centuries now, because it's challenging this force mechanism, this mechanism of like, we're going to push change, we're going to force change, we're going to accelerate change. Nature does change very well in itself. Like, we actually don't need to do all of those things. And that's how we have disconnected ourselves from nature, even though we are part of nature. So the byproduct of that is that we disconnected ourselves from ourselves. And the next byproduct is that we are feeling depressed, we are feeling exhausted, burnt out because of this disconnection. So a lot of people right now are looking for solutions to exhaustion, to depression, and they don't realize that all the things they're adding to their lives to kind of try and solve the problem are actually just, most of the time, just adding some more stress and more complexity into a system that just needs a lot of emptiness, a lot of void, a lot of listening to what's happening inside, a lot of softness, tenderness, self-compassion. And all those things, you don't create them. They appear. They are created naturally when you connect to yourself. There is a very benevolent source inside of ourselves that provides this self-compassion, this love, this tenderness towards ourselves. But it's so unfamiliar that we're afraid of it. And this is crazy because we spend our lives looking for love outside of ourselves, looking for someone to love us, someone to care for us. And we don't realize that we have so much inside of ourselves, so many resources. And even one of those resources can be realizing you have a need or a want and going for that want and asking for that need to people around you, being vulnerable. Instead of trying to figure it out with your head. So yeah, that was today's ramble. Not that much of a ramble, really. It's so crystal clear in my head, and it's so close to my heart. I really appreciate you for listening, and I really hope that it can inspire you to be curious about the creative void and to experiment with it. Have a beautiful day.